Hello everyone, my name is Carlie Hamilton and I'm here today with another scrapbook process video for you guys. This one is another one for my wedding album, and I'm not exactly sure on the exact time, but this guy took me between 3.5 hours to 4 hours, somewhere along that amount of time. And the reason for that was because I did a lot of hand stitching. I was watching a bit of TV, I'm sure, at the same time. I can't quite remember, but it took a long time to do this. So to start off, I decided to do some stamping. I'm trying lately to do some different things, some things that I haven't really done in a while, or haven't done together. So that's why I got out my stamp sets. I wanted to do some kind of stamping as the grounding for my photos. Before, you saw me playing around with these two photos, and if I put them the other way around, our celebrant in the background sort of matches up to make it look like he's one whole person. And I thought that was a bit too distracting, so that's why I stuck them the other way around, where he's now in the background and sort of not noticeable at all. I really love this paper that I used to mat my photo. It's got a beautiful chevron pattern, and I can't say no to that kind of pattern, so I had to cut it out so that you could see one row of the chevrons. Here I'm using some vellum, and I've got to say I am a bit in love with vellum at the moment. Now I want to go out and just buy all the vellum. Which sucks when you're trying not to spend. But anyway, because I am really loving vellum, I cut out the center of this piece of vellum so that I have more of it to use. Often I don't really bother doing this, but vellum is precious. So I had to do that. So I just use a bit of washi tape to stick it down. And this washi tape from the latest Freckle Fawn kit here has become my go-to for sticking things down. It's nice and wide. Now I wanted to sort of make this sort of more cohesive with my layout, and so I added a bit of the blue ink to the edges of it, and I just found that that just really helped in making this layout look really good. So if you've got like harsh lines and it feels like that things aren't just going, just ink the edges, it helps. So now that I've added the mat to my photos, it needs an extra flower just to make it the right length. So I added an extra flower on there, and voila. So as I said, this took a really long time to do, but there isn't really much to this layout. It was because of the sewing just took a long time. And so at this point, I don't think I've decided that I want to sew just yet. I've started going through all my embellishments, trying to work out what I'm going to do to embellish this. And what I decide to do is to create a bit of an embellishment cluster on top of a circle sticker. Oh, those things that just flashed on the screen were some rub-ons that I found hidden in my stash. I think I bought them for one particular project and never used them. I think they'll be perfect for my wedding album. I just need to use them. So I get out that circle sticker and I start to make a sort of little embellishment cluster. The end result I'm not 100% happy with. I think I should have done more to it, but I got distracted with other things, but it looks alright. So the first thing I stick into it, I've got that little wood button, but I wanted to stick something slightly under it, so I stuck a little word sticker there. And then I also I go through my stash, and then I also end up sticking a button on there, which I will do soon. There we go. I've got that heart button that I end up sticking on there. So this layout, as I said, it's for my wedding album, and it's our sort of hug after we've finished saying our vows and we're officially married. So that's the main story behind that. So I've decided to sew this layout, so I'm getting out my threads. A long time ago I bought like 100 colors of thread. It was in a giant pack for really cheap. So I was just going through them all, trying to find the right color, and I decided on this pink color. So I pull off those embellishments that I've already stuck down, because I'm going to go around the outside of my first mat. So what I do when I'm sewing is I have a foam mat and I use my paper piercer, my little pokey tool, to make the holes. That way I don't have to like push really hard with my needle to try and get the needle through. So it's so much easier, especially if you're sewing through a whole heap of layers. And once I've poked the holes through, I used to tie thread, but it's hard to tie thread. It takes up too much time. It's too fiddly, and you can waste. I feel like you waste a bit of thread, so I always just stick it down with some washi tape. So that's I cut out all the sewing. A lot of it was off screen or half on the screen anyway, because I pulled the layout closer to my body. So you didn't miss anything, just me sewing. And once that was done, I just used my fingers to just lift up the vellum a bit so that it's got a bit of dimension there, just folding it up. Now that I've done that, I've decided to do my title, and I want to just make it Just Married. So luckily these older doodlebug stickers, I can do the word just easily, which is great. A lot of my stickers now, I'm finding that I'm running out of some key letters, so I'm starting to get more creative with my titles with whatever I've got left. And these are the foam stickers that were from the Freckle Fawn May kit, and I'm using them on quite a few layouts as well. These are my sort of first thicker kind of letter stickers, and they're a bit... These ones are super sticky, like they stick down really well, and because they're foam, they warp their shape a bit. I find them really hard to get them like a nice shape, if that makes sense. You'll see with like the ease and stuff, the extremities get pulled a bit because as I'm lifting up my finger away, they sort of pull apart. But oh well, you don't notice. That's me being a bit fussy. I'm sure that 99.99% of people looking through my album are not going to notice that at all. So I stick down like a little heart sticker there, and I go over my just with Dimensional Magic. It's something that I've been doing a lot lately, just to make the title stand out just that little bit more. It gives it a little bit of a pop. It just gives it like an epoxy sticker kind of look. Next, I felt like it was just something missing with this layout, so I decided to mat it in a just plain cardstock that I had. So I went through my stash. I'm running really low on cardstock, like super low. I am really happy that I had a color that matched. So I just trimmed down this one, and luckily I'd sort of, offset it to the side. I think because it ended up being so wide that it looks a bit better centered. So overall that worked out really well. From here, I wanted to do a little bit more sewing, and I was thinking about just doing like maybe like a corner design, like maybe a triangle in two of the corners. But once I'd started on the corner, I didn't think it was going to look right if I did like just the corner only. So another reason this one took so long is because I sewed around the outside of the whole entire layout, which you can see here. So again, I just use my thumb sort of underneath the layers between the two from the sewing, just to lift it up a bit, and that just adds a little bit more pop to my page. There we go. and that there is pretty much my finished layout. I end up adding another go of the dimensional magic over the just, and I also got a bit of an air bubble in it. If you get an air bubble, all you need to do is sort of use your pokey tool to try and pop it. And as I was popping it, a little bit went on the page, but it's really easy to just wipe up straight away. So that there is my finished layout. So I just feel like there needs to be something a bit more in that cluster up the top. But, oh well, it's done now. I could fuss around forever, or I could just move on to the next page. But overall, I gotta say that this layout, I love it. I'm in love with it. I think it's awesome. And I'm in love with sewing at the moment. I don't know, I'm just a little sewing obsessed. But there you go, that's my layout. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please do let me know what you think in the comments below. You can also check out my website, which is createmess.com. I've got lots of free printables, downloads and stuff like that. Join my newsletter as well. You get the latest information and you get lots of freebies and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm just blabbing on here. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. And I will see you in the next process video. Thanks so much. Bye.